A bench-clearing brawl occurred in the 9th in Colorado. That's Mike Jackson hitting Gerald Clark for the second time on the evening. Clark was hit 3 times in this series. Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonds getting involved in a scuffle that would ensue. Both Bonds and his father were ejected, as were Gerald Clark and Colorado's first base coach Ron Hasse. The resume. Barry Bonds thinks this is ball 4 instead of strike 2. Larry Vanover says, that's a strike, Barry. Bobby wants his boy to get a break. The count is full. Bonds thinks this is ball 5, not strike 3. And Barry is going to get his money's worth. Thank goodness he stopped with just throwing his helmet off. Choice.
Barry's 4th at bat against Joel Adamson, called out by Mark Hirschbeck, and Barry didn't like the call. He later looked at the tape and said it was a good call, but not in time. He was asked to leave.
Ricky Bottalico, bit inside. Bonds coming after him. Bench is empty. Both Bonds and Bottalico are ejected. Big dog pile on both of them at the pitcher's mound.
Next at bat after the home run, and woo, heads up. Estacio over the head. Home plate up. Dan Iosonia, warn anew, everybody warned. Top of the 8th, David Weathers pitching, Bonds looking, and then Bonds griping. Not happy with the call, and that is your heave-ho. Barry done for the night. Leaves to the delight of the New York crowd. Flashback to the last time Bonds was ejected. That was August 2nd of '98 when Ricky Bottalico drilled him, and Bonds not happy about that. Barry not much of a temper, but showed it there.
Bottom hitter on a 3-2 pitch. He walks to lead off the inning. Walk number 2,062 in his career, tying him for second all-time with Babe Ruth. Then he was lifted for a pinch runner, so he's out of the game. But Bonds going to get tossed for complaining umpire Jim Reynolds about a 3-1 pitch. Yak, yak, yak.
And Bonds doesn't agree with the call. It's 2-2.
Now that's the location we're talking about. Bonds telling that ball is low.
Well, Culper right now is taking his mask off, and he's had it with Bonds.
Well, we're just not accustomed to seeing Bonds argue. And I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this.
Now 3-2 Sox, bottom of the 8th. Rodriguez punched out, and he's got issues. He will not have the opportunity to discuss those issues. DeMiro tosses him. 3.
A-Rod. That's going off Biddle's foot. Over to Canerco at first. The toss to Biddle covering, and A-Rod is out, but Rodriguez gets up to argue, and he accidentally bumps into the umpire, and he's tossed. I mean, look, it's an obvious accident. Shouldn't have been ejected, but, you know, DeMiro tossing.
Lead.
Kelty goes.
How about this? Bobby Kelty steals. A-Rod has the ball. Appeared to get a tag down. The ump said he was safe.
Ball beats him. A-Rod with a nice scoop, puts it down in front of the back. Kelty slides into it. A-Rod none too pleased.
At least he cares, you know. I mean, this is, like, you know, it gets so frustrating when you feel that they're just shoveling dirt on you.
Who's the umpire in the middle of that?
Greg Gibson.
They all got tossed.
A-Rod gets tossed. Jerry Naren's got to get tossed.
Jamie Quirk may have to be the manager here pretty soon.
Opening RBI Friday.
Look out. A-Rod gets hit by the pitch, and he's having a long look out to Arroyo. Now Jason Varitek getting in between Rodriguez and Arroyo, and Rodriguez is really whooping, and now he's waving, and now we got everybody on the field as A-Rod and Varitek are wrestling each other.
Well, the voice belonged to Dan Schulman. Everything else squarely on the players' shoulders. They try and separate Jason Varitek and Alex Rodriguez. Everybody, there's Kurt Schilling. He's in the, hold me back, I'll kill him.
A-Rod, not nice to stare, but he does it anyway. He'd get tossed for the first time since '04, and then Joe Girardi getting the heave-ho from Marty Foster.
Bottom 7, Sammy Sosa. He's got a homer in his last 4 games. What do we have here? It's a moonshot to left. Fair or foul? Oh, terrific drive, but foul. Same at bat. Sosa looks at strike 3. Ring him up, sit him down. Gets ejected for arguing. Beware of the sunflower seeds.
Runs 5 hits, 2 walks. Bottom 9, Sammy Sosa facing the ageless Mike Morgan. Strike. That pitch looked a bit outside. It's called strike 3 by Bill Miller. Sosa says you are wrong, and Bill says you are gone. Ejected. Don Baylor dejected.
Cubs hosting Tampa Bay. Bottom one, no score. There's Sosa at bat. Runners on second and third, one out, but that's not the story. This is the grounder and the broken bat of Sosa's. Mark Grudzielanek would score from third for the moment, 1-0 Cubs. A broken bat for Sosa on the ground out, right? So home plate Tim McClellan gets to work. Picking up the bat of Sosa's. He meets with the other umpires, discusses what appears to be a cork in the bat of Sosa. It's cork without the champagne. No reason to celebrate here. Sosa's broken bat gets looked at. And let's flash back. Speaking of McClellan, yes, he was involved in this. July 24th, 1983, McClellan ejects George Brett for using too much pine tar. Brett obviously not thrilled with that decision by McClellan. Back to Tuesday's game. Sammy Sosa visibly shaken. Dusty Baker comes out to talk to McClellan to check out what is going on. What about Sammy? Oh, boy. Exactly. Look again at the broken bat of Sosa. The bat appears to be cork. Sammy would say later he simply picked up the wrong bat. Take a look at the Major League Baseball official rule book, 606, Section D. A batter is out for illegal action when he uses or attempts to use a bat that in the ump's judgment has been altered or tampered with. No advancement on the bases will be allowed, and any out or outs made during the play shall stand. Here it is again. Another look. The bat breaks. Sosa said later he actually uses cork bats in batting practice to make the fans happy. He simply picked the wrong one. Meanwhile, McClellan rules that Grudzielanek must go back to third. Sosa is out number 2, and Grudzielanek's run does not count. Back to a scoreless game, and the staff of CSI wouldn't like that, Tim. You wiping off your hands. Sammy stunned. Later, baseball officials walk away with the evidence. That bat not going to Cooperstown.
Nobody out. 2 strikes. Here's Sammy now. Try to check his swing. They appeal. Eric Cooper calls him out. Sosa, sort of a wave in disgust. A word for the home plate umpire, Bill Hahn, and Sosa walks away. And the umpire follows him. Sammy said he was cursing himself. Of course, the only way Hahn could hear that is because he followed him nearly back to the dugout. There's the check swing. Certainly looks like Sosa did go around. Also, look how far Hahn follows Sosa before tossing him. Cub fans putting their frustration into words.